to another show. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you can join us for another conversation. This is my summer series that I just started. And I'm going to see if anybody's in the chat in just a minute. But I do want to welcome everyone here, especially my co-producer, Kelly, who's helping me do these glitches of Hangouts and all of that. So if Kelly will introduce herself, then we'll introduce our special guest, Tonya from Thrifty Treasures.
Hi, everybody. It's Mama, a.k.a. Kelly, a.k.a. Hip Flippin' Mama. I am just here lending support, comic relief, and technical problem-solving skills. But I am a top-rated eBay seller, so I am in the game. And Tanya's going to help me get over to Etsy. Thanks, Tonya.
No problem. Everybody, go ahead, Thelma.
Your turn, Tonya. Tell us about yourself, even though we all know you pretty much, but I want new people that have come into my channel that may not know you to get to know you as well.
Hey, everybody. I'm Tonya, also known as Thrifty Treasures here on YouTube. And I have been reselling since May of 2000. I sell on eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Amazon, and I have an antique booth too.
Did I lose you?
No, I had to chat I had to freeze my chat, and I think Tonya stopped talking.
Go ahead, Tonya.
Oh.
When you pull up the YouTube, you have to mute it really, really quick. And it startled Tonya, and she stopped talking.
Oh, okay.
No, I was done. I'm doing the same thing too. I'm pulling it up so I can see the chat too. But thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You were telling us that you've been on eBay for a long time. We know you've been on there since, what, 2 years after they started? You've been on there forever. You're a great seller on there, top-rated seller, power seller, all of the above. Tell us about that and how you've stuck to it all this time.
Well, you know, eBay will probably always be my first love, if you will. I like to say that because it's the first place I really got started selling. And like everybody, you know, I probably bought something, I think, and then I thought, well, let's try selling some things around the house. And then one thing led to another. And it's just been something that's always been constant, you know, in my life, selling on eBay. And even though other platforms come along, you know, good old eBay is always still there to sell on also.
I've heard you mention a few times, and you're much younger than I am, but we have a similar background in that you worked for a construction company back in the heyday of the oil field and all the oil money that we made here in Texas. You were a timekeeper as well at S&B. I was a timekeeper there as well. Worked for Brown and Root as well. Tell us about that stint.
Oh my gosh, how do you know that?
I heard you mention it once in the chat or somewhere.
Okay, so I was I did a shutdown for Brown and Root. I was a time clerk over there. We did I think that was out in Mount Bellevue. And I remember one of the craziest things about it was you had to have that brass coin. Do you remember dealing with those?
I still have some. I saved some.
Oh, really? So that's what you had to have, that coin to, you know, clock in and clock out.
Right.
And I worked at S&B It's engineers, right? Engineering. It's been a while. But yeah, I was a material control clerk over there, and we read the blueprints and the drawings and the ISOs or whatever they're called. So it was a lot of fun. I had so much fun.
Yes. Did you wear a hard hat? I did. I wore a hard hat because I started as a painter helper. And then, you know, it was, you know how those jobs are. This was at CCPC in Corpus Christi. They were building a huge refinery. And those jobs, when you get the layoffs, the ROFs, reduction of force, right? So they reduced all the welders or all the painters. And I guess one of the people that worked in the office, one of the gentlemen there said, hey, you need to come in here and work inside, get out of the sun. So he hired me to do the timekeeping for another year. Right. And so we didn't have computers or anything. We just worked with those little brass things. I was single at the time. So it was a lot of fun, but I did wear that hard hat and met wonderful people there. It was a great experience. It was also very lucrative. I keep telling people I made more money then than I do now as a teacher because I worked 80 hours a week. Did you work that many hours?
For the shutdown, yes, definitely. We worked a ton of hours for that. But whenever I was a material control clerk, it was a normal, well, we didn't have normal hours because I think on Fridays, a lot of the engineering places shut it down about noon. So that was always a cool little perk of working there. You got to be off on Fridays like by noon, but it was pretty much 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do remember now we had to be there at like 7 or 7:30 in the morning. It was really early, but it really worked out because you kind of missed all the traffic.
Exactly. Yeah, we had to be there early, and then if it rained, you had to show up anyway, so you could get a rain out check at least. You get paid for half the day, even if they sent you home. So that
nice.
That was fun. Thanks for bringing that up. I completely forgot about all that.
I think it's important. I think it kind of makes us what we are.
Yeah.
What we did in our past, that I don't know, it kind of exposed us. Like when I remembered this because I was talking to Sandy, she was showing a bracelet that she made, and it reminded me of the bracelets that the welders would make when I was working in that field.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
Two of the most, I have to interrupt. Two of the most beautiful, graceful, elegant, ladylike, pristine women in the reselling community, and you both come from construction backgrounds.
Yeah, well, it's
hard to believe.
It's taxes, it's oil, it's money, it's jobs, right, Tonya?
Right, definitely.
Did you always work in the Houston area? Were you born in the Houston area?
Yes, I was born in Houston, Texas, and I've lived here all my life, and I've worked here too.
Oh, fabulous. I was born in Corpus, lived in San Antonio, and then came to Houston. But I asked that also because you don't have a Texas accent twang, so to speak. Like my neighbor's from Midland, and when I first heard her speak, my eyes just went like this. I had never heard twang. But I think here in Houston and around these parts, maybe it's not so twangish. I don't know. But I do want to ask you also about the fact that you are from Texas. What kind of items do you find that you know about that you just have an instinct that they will sell on eBay?
Okay, that is a very good question. Well, gosh, there's just so many things. Let me think about that. Well, definitely, without a doubt, being in Texas, the James Avery, right? You don't even have to think about that. If the price is right, you just snatch that stuff right up.
Yes.
I guess I would probably snatch up anything that had like Astroworld on it or anything like that, just because it's not here anymore. And that would definitely be something I don't know if I could part with it, but I probably would.
Yeah, and it's good money. I know we've met some people that had found those Astroworld yearbooks, and they made some good money on that. But I know you're killing it with the cowboy boots too.
Yeah, I sell those from time to time. They're not really been finding a whole lot of those lately, but
I think you've gotten very lucky. Did you find those gringo ones over at Goodwill or garage sale?
Oh, those were definitely found at Goodwill. And as a matter of fact,
lucky one.
they were rolling out on the cart. And anytime I hear it rolling, I don't even have to see it. I can just hear it. Yeah. And boy, I am over there lickety split.
Exactly. Since we don't have the bins like they do in Austin and San Antonio, our little bins are the ones they roll out, guys, when they're and they really replenish the store all day long, all week long, pretty much. So you just have to be aware when you see those blue little racks come out, or the clothing racks, because that's all the new fresh stuff.
Yes.
What about, I've seen you decorate with like the, what do you call it? The taxidermy or the, that kind of stuff. Do you find that at some garage sales pretty cheap?
Most of my taxidermy has come from my uncle, and then a lot of it has come from the thrift store, like this big guy right here. That big guy, can you see him okay? Or is this?
He's a little dark.
Is he too dark?
Mm-hmm. Did you just pick him up?
There he is.
Oh, wow, there he is, yes. Oh, he's pretty.
And he's big too. He came from a resale shop, a little mom and pop shop, and I got him for $100. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I think this one, let's see, that one right there, I think came from my uncle. So I just love, and I've got a bobcat, and I've got 3 more deer heads on the other side of the room. So I love taxidermy.
you're the collector of the taxidermy. You can't let it go then, huh? Or have you
No.
sold any on the tax list, or what is it, offer up or anything where shipping won't be so vicious?
Yeah, but I wouldn't part with it.
I
Yeah.
think you like taxidermy, and that's why you pick it up, because if you get stuck with it, you're okay.
Right. Now my husband he doesn't like it. He's like, you
Really?
look like you're a hunter.
That's so cool. My husband loves it, and I have run into occasionally in garage sales, but I've just never bought. He's like, "Why didn't you buy it? It's so cool." And a lot of my relatives have ranches over in Southwest Texas, so I could easily go in there and get some from them.
You should, Mama. I love it. It's so pretty. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I am the biggest animal lover there ever was. I could never shoot an animal or anything like that. But I feel like on the flip side of the coin, with taxidermy, you're preserving the animal's beauty forever. So,
and let's not forget, guys, when you're talking about deer, I live in Michigan. We have an overpopulation of deer. And so if we don't hunt them, they will easily take over. There's more car accidents.
yeah,
so
true.
More hunting accidents. So it's a way of feeding your families and controlling the population. But
yeah,
I think that the little critters you pick up are so adorable. And it's no disrespect to the animal at all.
Not at all.
Right.
And is that your eBay room?
This is like my eBay room.
And how do you have it organized? Do you have your shipping and everything in there?
I am so not organized. Most of my shipping ends up getting done on the kitchen island.
Yeah.
So I'll just, I'll have it completely cleared off, and then I'll just put everything on there and knock it out real quick.
So that's probably like your inspo room, like mine is. I don't really do anything. I do some picture taking here. Like when I used to get on Chick Picker's channel and do her challenge, which I love to do on Wednesdays and Sundays, I would do my picture taking in here for little jewelry. But the mannequins and everything is in the garage now. So this is more like my inspiration. Like, you really list that pile of necklaces back there.
Yes.
So, Tonya, you were saying that you're the boot girl, right?
Yeah, I like to sell them.
Okay, well, I've got these Dan Post boots, and I've put a few layers of conditioner on them, cleaner and conditioner, and they're not so stiff now. And, I mean, how do these look to you?
They look really good.
Okay.
I've never conditioned a pair of boots.
Dan Post is a good brand.
I've conditioned them 3 times, but I still have some spots to get the cleaner out. But do these, I've never sold boots before. Does the bottoms look okay?
They do. They can be resold. Be sure and mention it 20 times, because I've had some come back that I've told them 20 times they needed to be redone. They were very worn at the bottom, but I think they were Dan Post as well.
I don't think these are that worn, though. There's no holes.
Well, just make sure you give them plenty of pictures, because they can be, like any buyer, they can be fastidious and we don't even know.
So this is a good brand then.
It is a good brand.
They were all dried and shriveled, and nobody wanted them, and so I came in and
it's not Casey, but it's up there with a good brand. Luke Casey.
Yeah. Kelly,
I redid them 3 times, and so I'm so happy.
They look
good. They look good.
So Kelly, listen, Tracy says that's an exotic leather. Figure out what it is. It's not cow.
This is not a normal leather.
Yeah, it might be.
She knows a lot about boots. She's here in Texas too. So, and she posts a lot of good things on her Instagram. She's uniquely me. And
right. I know Tracy.
That looks like goat to me. I would look at the tag inside and check the numbers. Google the number. It will likely come out.
No.
Yeah, because that long number on the side can sometimes tell you the skin or the exact stuff.
It says brown leather. It says 2229 10.5B Dan Post.
Yeah. Or I would just look on eBay as well. Sometimes you can find the exact things and then look at their descriptions.
Well, my phone's lighting up with Messenger, so
Those are some of the things that we do find here. Uh, I occasionally find things like snow boots and stuff that came from probably Michigan or Illinois or something. Do you ever pick up any of that stuff that you know you can get really cheap here and flip it a little bit? Or are you just not interested in that kind of stuff?
I've never picked up a pair of snow boots, I don't think.
I pick up the kid sizes because I feel like they're in better condition. They've been worn one season and they're lighter to ship, especially on Macari. So I do a lot of that. But tell me about your jewelry. What is your connection to jewelry? Did your parents wear jewelry? Your mom liked it, or you just loved it?
Well, I mean, I've always been a real girly girl, and I just have, I don't know, probably just the people around me, not necessarily any one person. I've just always admired it, and I love to look at it. And the older I've gotten, the more I like to wear, like even the bigger pieces. I've always been really kind of a modest person, and I never really wore big, chunky pieces. But now I love the big statement earrings and necklaces, and I just love it. I think it's so pretty. It's such a great way to, make yourself feel good about yourself and to accessorize. It's so much fun.
Exactly. I'm going to take just a minute to say hello to some people in the chat, and then we'll go back to some questions for our guest, Tonya. We have Tam at Tammy's Place, Kimberly, Ben. It looks like Yvonne is here, and Uniquely Me, Tracy. Christy, if I didn't catch everybody, guys, it's not because I didn't want to. Kim, Christy, Leslie Bull. Thank you guys so much, Kathleen, at This and That. Really appreciate you being here. I just also wanted to ask Tonya, how are you doing health-wise, Tonya? We know you had an issue last year or so, and we hope you're doing better. Please tell us how you're doing.
Thank you for asking. I am doing better. I'm not 100% out of the woods yet because I'm still on, extra medication. I'm still having to take steroids. But it's, and I figured I would totally be off of all the extra medicine by now. So it's taken a lot longer than I thought to get everything back on track. I mean, I don't think that I'm going to end up rejecting. I think I'm going to be okay. Thank God.
yay!
Yeah. We're on for you every day, and we hope that it gets better and better. You look better. Your face is slimmed down. You're such a beautiful woman. I love your hair. I'm glad you showed us your hair today. Your signature hat is what we usually see you in, but we just love it when you wear your hair down. It's so beautiful.
I had to bring the glam to Thelma's channel. Come on.
Are you wearing Kendra Scott right now with those earrings? They're so cute.
My necklace is Kendra Scott, and my little bracelet is. I just got this one for my birthday because you get half off.
Yes, I heard you talk about that, and you got the little earrings one time.
Yes, I got the earrings last year. They were the abalone ones. I don't know. Some people. Well, we were watching Lori last night. Some people say abalone. Some people say abalone.
I say abalone.
I do too. It must be a
I do
thing.
too.
I think Vanessa says abalone. I love abalone though, and so you like gold tone, right? That's your favorite.
Yes, I prefer gold. I like silver, and I even have silver on right now. I'll wear it sometimes, but I don't have a problem mixing the gold with the silver. I used to be so matchy, and again, the older I've gotten, I just have thrown caution to the wind. I just wear whatever I want to wear and have fun.
Me too, and I think buying the jewelry jars and the jewelry has really opened up my eyes to other aesthetics. Like I never wore these big chunky pieces, and then people will tell me, oh, that's carnelian and that's onyx, and I'm like, really? And I've gotten to where I really like it and how it brings out an outfit, how it makes the outfit really. So I'm really getting to appreciate that. Now tell me about your jaunts at the Goodwill. Did you start with the jars, or did you always just go to the counter and then you one day stumbled on some jars and say, wow, what's this?
I was doing the jars. I've been doing the jars for a long time. Even before anybody started making videos about jars, jewelry jars, I was buying up those jars. You probably were too here in Houston. And I used to find the most amazing things in jars. Mm-hmm. And of course, over the years, the cat's out of the bag. Everybody's buying the jars.
Yeah.
And Goodwill is becoming more aware about it because we're all making the videos, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm sure that they are seeing some of the videos. I mean, don't you think?
Well, actually, I agree with you to an extent. They definitely know what's going on, but there's always something that falls through the cracks. And
Yeah.
I have gotten different vibes from different ladies that work there that are managing the place. One of them tells me, well, I always throw in something good. I know you guys are looking for something good. I don't want to throw in junk. Another one tells me,
I heard that
I
too.
bin, and I literally scoop it out of there. And she showed me where she scoops and doesn't even bother to look. It's tangled. It's a mess. And then another one will tell me, well, if you get a small, tiny jar like this one, it's going to be $20. But I'm getting these huge ones, so I'm breaking them up into $20 ones. So everyone has their own system. And then another one girl told me, this lady just showed me how to make them. So they're teaching each other how to make them. I think there is some of that going on. But then also I saw this guy the other day, and I put in some footage. No, I didn't put footage of him because it was so obvious with his face, and I don't like to put people's faces in videos when I can help it. But it was a customer showing the Goodwill guy how to scan and how to sell.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, he was literally, look, see, I can get this much. See, this is what, and then he's like, so how do you do it? And he's like, well, I have
He was telling the cashier this?
Yes, the young man that's the cashier, he's been there a long time, but he's, I think, maybe 30. And he's like, yeah, I get up in the morning and do what I want. I go to some garage sales. I put it up on eBay. I come in here, then I go to the other one down the street, and then I go to this one. And he's like, really? And then he's like, yeah, look what I made. And so
he sounds like, I don't know, maybe he's lonely or he just likes to brag, perhaps. But
I think he was the latter, definitely.
Yeah. And also another thing that you have to keep in mind is the turnover. The management at Goodwill is very fast. I mean, so we might get a manager in there that's constantly going through the jewelry, checking every single thing, and you never get anything. Well, in a month from now, guess what? He probably might not even be there to be good by jars in there. So.
That's so true, Tonya. And some of them are so strict. And I had one where a girl ran into me. She recognized me. She had walked out, and she said, Thelma, that she recognized me. And then she said, I just got a whole bunch of James Avery. And I was like, you beat me to it, huh? She said, yes. And the manager let me have it all for a discount. And then
really?
Always giving us discounts. He's so sweet. And next time we have a meetup, if we ever have one, Tonya, we'll have to go there. But he's so sweet. He always says, oh, that's priced too high. I'll let you have it for 20. It's 30, whatever. That's just the way he is. And he does it to everyone.
That's
but
awesome.
have you been recognized at any Goodwills?
Yeah.
You have? How many times? Quite a few times?
Wait, what was that?
Have you ever been recognized at a Goodwill or anywhere?
Oh, recognized.
Recognized. Hey, you're Thrifty Treasures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happened, let me think. It happened last Saturday, but it has happened at garage sales around here, like in my area.
Yeah.
So, and even just this morning, I saw my friend, her name's Jackie. So
that's cool. Yeah, I remember the first time that happened to me, I was like, no makeup. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these people recognize me. I'm going to have to start wearing makeup when I go to the Saturday.
Yeah. Isn't that, I know, right? That's why I go first thing in the morning. There's like nobody there.
I'm going to start wearing a hat like you, Tonya.
Yeah. But as a matter of fact, listen, I have to tell you, so probably about, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, I was at Goodwill. It was in the afternoon, and I ran into Guadalupe, I think Guadalupe and Juan was their names, and they said that they watched both of us.
Oh, really? Oh, how fun.
Yeah, she said that they don't have a YouTube channel or anything, but that they watch us. So I thought that was so sweet.
Yeah, and the last one that I ran into, she was a young girl. She must have been 16 or 17 years old, but she's into thrifting and all of that. So, it's a lot of fun to see how that demographic has kind of changed in thrifting. So not only are they buying there, but they're on eBay looking for all that retro stuff too. Do you sell a lot of that? And more importantly, how do you know? Because I've seen you bring up brands that I've never heard of. Are you constantly on Pinterest, or do you constantly on comps? How do you get the insight?
I have a subscription to WorthPoint, and I utilize that daily, multiple times a day.
You can look comps without even having an item to look up. You just go on there and browse or peruse what's selling or what?
Well, I mean, if I come across something and I need to know the value of it, yeah, I'll look it up that way.
Okay.
Now, how do you think, Tonya, Worth Point is different than Terapeak? Because we get Terapeak free with eBay now.
I've not even looked into the whole Terapeak thing, to be quite honest.
So you're just gonna ride out the Worth Point until your subscription is expired?
Well, I mean, I don't really pay that much for it, so, and I like it, so, and I'm used to using it.
So just keep it.
Yeah. I got to ask you too, Tonya, why YouTube? When did you start? Why did you start? Was it part of learning? Did you start watching people? You don't have to mention anybody or anything because that's not really important. But I do want to know what kinds of videos you were watching before you started making videos.
Yeah, for sure. I probably just stumbled across it one day. I don't know, when I was looking something up, or maybe I thought to go there, but I was on YouTube for a long time before I even thought about actually making my content myself. So I watched a lot of Steve Rakin. I really enjoyed his videos talking about the clothing and everything. And more importantly, it was just neat to see somebody out there that was doing what I was doing.
Right.
And I watched a lot of, and still do, Ann at See Ann Save. Well, she changed her name, Ann Eckhart. So I've always liked Ann, and we sell some similar things. So I enjoy her channel too. And I watched you, Thelma. And so I just, so by watching Steve Rakin, I got involved with the Green Room and all of that, and Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, and one thing led to another. And, you know, I think some of the very first videos I put out, I also raised monarch butterflies. And so I uploaded a couple of those kind of videos. And so just to kind of get used to the idea of uploading and making videos. And then one thing led to another, talking with them. So
I like the way you're utilizing, the way you're using your medium to not only do one type of video. Like I know you mentioned you were doing jewelry jars, and then maybe you didn't want to do jewelry jars for a little while, and you do the garage sales. They're fabulous. Not everybody has garage sales. People that are from other countries love watching those as well.
yes.
What content would you like to do that you maybe don't think you would get that instant acceptance, but what kind of a content, maybe cooking or the butterflies again? Is there anything else that would interest you to do?
I would probably say, I guess more of the gardening, maybe, with the butterflies and the flowers and stuff like that. I enjoy that.
I think that would be nice. I think we feel like we know you, Tonya, and a lot of the people that we watch on here. And I've told many people that I've met you personally, and that you're one person that is absolutely the same in person that you are on screen. You just exude this really happiness.
Oh, thank you.
Personality, not overly perky or anything. You're just so sweet. And you're beautiful, so you're fun to watch. And
oh, thank you.
So I hope you continue doing all of those types of videos. But I also have to ask you, what keeps you doing eBay as far as data? Do you keep any data? Do you have goals that you set? Do you write them down? Do you have a certain amount you want to hit every month? Does that motivate you in a way?
Well, not so much right now. I tend to be a little bit more focused during the school year when the kids are in school.
Yeah.
Right now, everything's just kind of willy-nilly, but I don't like my little money that I make from reselling. It doesn't necessarily pay the bills. My husband works full-time and he takes care of pretty much everything. So a lot of times my money will go towards, like, if the kids, like my daughter, wants to do any kind of summer camps or something, she's going to be doing a couple over at U of H Clear Lake later on this summer. And so I'm excited about that. Or I might buy some groceries or help pay for vacations. So that's really kind of what my money goes towards.
Yeah, exactly. That's same here pretty much. We just kind of pool our money and, have a little mad money is always fun.
Mad money, yes. Garage selling money.
Just to buy more. You do have a storage unit though, don't you? When did you get that?
Oh gosh. Well, I've had one for a while now, right down the street from my house, and I used to be like on the second floor, and I didn't really like that so much. I didn't really feel safe going up the stairwell or the elevator by myself. So I moved to a ground level unit, and now I just pull right up to the storage unit, and the door's like right there, and so it's really convenient.
Oh, that's nice. Kelly, do we have any questions in the chat for Tonya?
I'm looking right now. So far, no questions in relation to
If you
our
have,
conversation. No.
you can highlight questions or put them in caps if you have any. I also wanted to ask you about your booth. How long have you been doing a booth?
Oh gosh. Well, I believe that I got it in 2015, and I originally started with my grandma, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so she kind of found her way out of it. She wasn't interested in doing it. So I actually moved to a little bit of a smaller booth, and I've had that now for a really long time. My grandpa, God rest his soul, he just passed away this year. But he came in and he built some wood shelving for me, and it's really nice to have all that extra shelving to put stuff on. So I love it. And as a matter of fact, I will always do it unless I am just unable to walk or something, because doing what we do, there's no reason why I shouldn't have one, because I come across stuff all the time. It's like,
Yes, I think you're right. And I'm always so hesitant when I see mid-century, beautiful mid-century furniture or, you know, and I just don't have the room anymore. I do not have even one little piece on my wall to hang another frame or anything. I always wanted to do a flea market, but the flea markets, again, we only have what, maybe a 2-month window of fairly good weather. Otherwise, we'd be dying there with the heat. You know how bad it is. And it's still fairly expensive. I think it's about $100 a month. If you don't mind, what do you pay for your antique booth out here in Texas?
I only pay $90 a month, and that's only because I've been told by management I have the cheapest booth there. And like I said, that's only because I've had it for so long.
Yes.
And the way that they have built the booths now, they all tend to be a little bit bigger. So mine is kind of like one of the few that are left that's kind of a little bit small, on the smaller side. I mean, I can't really fit a piece of furniture in there, maybe one piece of furniture.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much just, you know, knickknacks and home decor type stuff. Jewelry, for sure. There's a lot of jewelry there.
And
Tonya, we've got a question from Barb Picky Chick, who would like to know when you're going to be giving your next tour of your booth.
Well, that will be soon, I'm sure. I know that Barb just recently got her own booth, so
And
I'll have
hers
to go
is
check in.
beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited for her. Booths are expensive too. Like here in Texas, Thelma, they're really cheap because, you know, I've heard that other places they can be really pricey.
I don't have any booths around me. I have to drive 25 minutes if I want to get a booth in an antique store. So I'm really hesitant if I want to do it or not, because I'm not sure if that's too far away, or, I mean, how many times a week do you go to your booth?
I don't even go every week necessarily.
Oh.
Yeah, it just depends on like if we have a sale going on, or you know, is it payday? It just depends. Like there's a bunch of different factors. How much inventory I have to bring out? Have I priced it? Is it ready to go? So, but yeah, I try to make it out at least once every 2 weeks for sure.
Well, that wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I don't know how they run it in Michigan, but I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. I should probably check on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of flexibility. I know that like with some of my friends, I know Tam, she has to be, I think they have to have like a working day that they have to be at the mall actually working, or maybe that's Jen, I can't remember. Either way, Jen and Tam, they both have antique booths and they do really well with those.
That brings up the fact that you really have to have an eye for it. I think you have to, like, your room is so cute and so quaint. Obviously, you have an eye for color and scale. And a lot of people, I think, go into it thinking, I'm just going to put this in here. You have to have something to draw them in. I've seen some of your episodes on your booth talk, and that's another great show that Tonya puts on. So be sure and subscribe to Tonya. We're going to get all of the description box filled in soon, that you can catch one of her shows where she talks about antique booths. I really think a lot of people fail at that. And even as something as simple, I've done a couple of videos on garage sales. Something as simple as a garage sale, because it is so much work that if you're just going to go out there and throw things in a box and throw them on the floor, the ground, or the grass, people aren't going to pick them up. And I think it's even more so in your booth. Tell us about that, Tonya.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see. You mean like as far as the way everything's arranged or what?
I don't think anything's really thrown in your booth, Tonya. You've got a place for everything.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably why she's successful.
Well, listen, I am like hodgepodge Tonya compared to my friends Jen and Tam. Their booths are always so nice and neat, and they're always redoing them. Mine is like a garage sale, seriously.
But you have a wide variety of items, Tonya, and the way that you present them is so cute. Whether it's a ribbon or you merchandise your booth very well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a reflection of who I am, and like the things that I like are probably like what I put in my booth that I like to sell. A lot of things I have had in my house, just like all of us resellers do. When we buy something, we might keep it for a little while, and then in a month we're like, okay, I think I could do without this, and it's time to sell it. So I do a lot of that as well. But like I said, with my grandpa building those shelves for me, I really have a ton of space to put everything. So if you are going to go get an antique booth, that's something that you definitely want to consider. Where are you going to put everything? Because if you don't have any kind of shelving, what are you going to put all your knickknacks and stuff on? They don't provide those things. You have to bring all that stuff up all by yourself. So,
and you have a system with that too, which is so important. Like I know you did a video recently, or maybe I watched it a little bit later than you put it out, but you talked about you having a big sale, moving it out.
Oh yeah.
Bringing in fresh stuff. So you rotate it. You have to keep track of everything you've already put there before. Maybe even trends for the season. Is that what you do?
So that would be a good example of when I don't necessarily go up there as often, is like if we're having a big sale that month, because I'm not going to be putting out, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I'm not going to be putting out a bunch of new inventory when I'm having a 50% off sale, because to me, I'd rather save that and try and get full price for that. And my husband's like, and sometimes the viewers say, well, just mark it up. Listen, I can't remember what I wore yesterday. I'm not going to be able to remember to go back in there and mark all that stuff down and mark it up or whatnot. I just can't do that. So, but when we have those big sales like that, it's really nice. And I have no problem doing 50% off. I have really good months, I make a good check when I do that, and I blow it. Is cheaper than having my own garage sale, which I'm not going to do unless somebody puts a gun to my head, because that is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
There's a question from This and That for you, Tonya, and they want to know how much you pay for a storage unit in Texas.
Hey, Kathleen, my storage unit is, I believe I pay 80 or 85, and it's a 5x10 climate controlled unit, ground level.
That's nice, climate controlled.
Yes. Now I was going to ask you about that too. Do you ever hang out at the booth? Do you ever like maybe go on a Saturday or something and sit there a couple hours and maybe try to move the stuff, talk to the people there? I mean, you must be really good at setting it up, is what I'm saying, because obviously you've been making a profit. And you're still doing it. And I gather that a lot of people don't really do that. They don't really nurse their booths, so to speak.
I don't have time for that. I have an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old,
right,
and a husband. And I don't have time to go sit up there for any length of time. Usually, I mean, I'm in and out of there pretty quick. No, I would say maybe once a month. I try to stay there a little bit longer and try to focus on rearranging things and really taking my time with trying to make the presentation of the booth look better.
Yeah, and it's so small that really I think the ambiance would change. People would feel a little bit, maybe claustrophobic with having someone there all the time everywhere they go. They really like to peruse at their leisure at those places. But
Right.
going well for you. What do you do for fun, Tonya? You obviously have some growing kids still. And what do you guys do for fun to relax and forget all about this eBay business?
Really well. When you first asked me that question, what do you do for fun? I was going to say garage sales.
Yeah.
I love it. I wish I could find them that.
That is my passion. So like I already went to 3 sales this morning. I didn't even know about them. I was like, why didn't I check the apps? But I did find 3. So what do we do for fun? I don't know. There is this little farm, Froberg's. Have you heard of it?
What's
Froberg Farm? It's in Alvin. And so you can go do strawberry picking and then just, recently they added blueberry picking. So we like to go out there sometimes, especially if we go by the booth on a Sunday or something, because they're in the same city. What else do we like to do? I don't know.
just relax?
Yes.
Relax and spend family time. And you do have a wonderful, pretty yard that you showed us in some of your pictures with your little chihuahuas. They keep you happy.
Thanks.
How many chihuahuas do you have too, don't you?
Yeah, I have a short-haired one, and that's Skippy, and then I have a long-haired one, Coco, and she's 12. She's getting on up there.
Goodness, yes. That's interesting.
Tonya, we've got a question from Kimberly Porter who wants to know when you, Tam, and Jenny are going to be having another talk on booths.
We're going to do that soon. We've been in discussion about that, and hopefully we'll be bringing that to you guys soon. Did you hear that, Tam? Watching? I saw her in the chat earlier. So she's all down for it. So we just got to.
Well, that'll be exciting.
Picking Chicken has a booth. Joan Brody just got a booth. So it's getting to be a really common thing among those that collect and thrift. I think it's a good thing to put those shows back on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it's such a great place to move items that are too big to ship or that you don't want to hassle with shipping, like glass and or multiple pieces of glass, like, for example, a punch bowl set. That would just be a nightmare to ship, but I guess you could.
Or smaller, heavy items.
Yes, yes.
And you do have a lot of Facebook groups too, Tonya. How many do you have? 10?
Probably too many.
I have to ask you, what exactly, I know that you're a very selfless person and you love helping people. Is that why you do all of these? Do you learn from them as well?
I learn so much from everybody. It is crazy. Good. It's like education nonstop. I mean, especially with my YouTube videos. I mean, people educate me, my subscribers, all the time. And I'm just so thankful for them because I've learned so much.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I can't tell you how many times I've been told, go back and look at that bracelet. It's a Yerman. Go back and look at that necklace. It was actually 18 karat. Are you sure that's not a Tiffany? I mean, they have literally helped me fish things out that I just didn't see. Because sometimes you're under the lights. The screen of the phone does not look the way your eyes are looking at it, the way they are looking at it.
Yes.
It's just a wonderful resource. We enjoy having you here on YouTube so much. We hope that your continued success on here and your channel has grown tremendously. We hope to see more and more of that because we love watching you, Tonya. I'm glad you have a GoPro now too, right? So
what's that?
You're hitting it with the GoPro now?
Oh yeah. So much fun. I love it.
Good.
I love the little boy who caught you and said, can I ask you a question? You're like, sure. It's like, why are you wearing a GoPro? And you were like, your speech over was busted by a kid.
Of course, you're the only ones who would know. Oh my God. You wear it on your chest or how do you carry that?
Yeah, I have a backpack I wear. So, I mean, it's, it's front and center. You can't miss it. So.
Right. Well, Kelly just goes in and announces her presence. They just about announced it on the intercom.
I heard that. I was watching you guys. I guess I was watching with Lucia on. Hopefully I said her name right. And I think we were talking about it because I watched the whole episode. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right.
I just figure, if they don't tell me no, then that means yes.
Right?
But everybody knows me in the few thrift shops I have in Kalamazoo. So anyone that I go to, they're going to come up and give me a hug and call me mama. And, anyway, so why not just say, good morning, it's mama. Ooh, I lost my ring. And then, I'm taping. And then if they don't say no, then I'm okay to do it.
Yeah.
Tammy has a question for you before we go, Tonya. Is the GoPro too heavy for a crossbody? Do you find it heavy?
It wouldn't work on a crossbody.
No.
You have to have something thicker and stronger to anchor it.
Okay, so you're gonna have to do a tutorial. I'm always requesting tutorials. I think they're some of the most amazing videos. You do get a lot of views, so do a little tutorial for us because it looks like some people are interested on how to do that GoPro. Okay, Tonya?
I wouldn't know the first thing about a GoPro.
You get a chance.
I picked up what I thought was a webcam, and I came home, and it happened to be something for a video game.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be me. That would be me. But we're going to let you go, Tonya. Thank you for taking the time out of your Thursday garage sales because I know they start around here, even on Wednesday here in Texas. They start on Wednesday all the way to, well, I wish they still had the Sunday ones. Remember when they used to do the Sunday only ones? Nobody does those anymore.
Right.
Yes, but I do appreciate you being here. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Here, and I know everyone enjoyed it. We are going to leave the descriptions here, guys, for Kelly and for Tonya, just in case you're not subscribed to them, but I'm sure you are, and if you're not, you should be because they both put out wonderful content. They're fun to watch, and that's why they're here with us to tell us a little bit more about themselves. Again, in the chat, I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm going to have some more guests. I'm going to have one tomorrow around the same time, and we will announce that when we put up the chat. Excuse me, the hangout window and all of it. I want to keep it kind of a surprise. So I like people to tune in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow as well. I think it's going to be at 3 tomorrow. And again, thank you so much, Tonya and Kelly. I appreciate all your help.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
It's nice to be here.